Hello, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Hope everybody's having a great trading session. Happy Janet Yellen confirmation day. Seems like we just went through this a few years ago, but that was for the Fed. Now is for, obviously, the Treasury Secretary. It's pretty amazing. I mean, if you think about it, the first woman to be the Fed governor, first woman to be Treasury Secretary, and first person to hold both positions, which is simply a pretty amazing feat if you think about it, especially if you're a woman. I mean, that's pretty awesome. She's has not lost her touch about you know what her touch is, right? Putting you to sleep touch. That one, yeah, she hasn't lost that touch at all. I've like trying to listen to the confirmation, and I'm just digging for little bullets or little nuggets there, and it's been kind of difficult. But the markets have been pretty sideways since. I mean, we haven't really gone anywhere. S&P's bounced back a little bit from the initial sell-off. This is a 15-minute chart, so here's an hourly chart. Just kind of share with you what's happening. Which again isn't a whole lot. We've seen the dollar pretty quiet. The euro's just kind of consolidating below its resistance right now. You could argue that we're setting up a little bit of a bull flag pattern. If you really want to be a dollar bear, you might have this little hourly flag pattern. I think we are up against some resistance. We might be able to push to 121.60, especially if stocks recover a little bit more. It is possible, but overall pretty quiet. The Kiwi dollar did manage to reject at pretty important resistance today. It's the neckline. Aussie dollar is kind of rejecting this downtrend line over here, but really key support comes in at 76, 75, which we're 25 pips away from. Some of the cross rates are making some big gains, and I just tweeted a chart with the Euro New Zealand, and I want to go ahead and take you over to the daily chart, and I have it drawn up a little differently, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be paying attention to this. Matter of fact, I'll do this. You can see we're nudging up against a really major trend line. So at 170, I would say 171, 170.76, which would be the 50% retracement. We could really start to squeeze higher because this is a descending wedge. Right. Let's do that. And let's do this. But many of you guys are already long with me down here. But a break above 171 would be obviously pretty bullish with the Euro New Zealand. Pound Aussie is at its highs of the session. You can see the Pound Aussie is above the 50% retracement, trying to break multi-day highs. Pound New Zealand is above its downtrend line, and this looks like we're going to try to squeeze even further. We've broken that downtrend line where the Euro New Zealand has not. Euro Aussies made a recovery out of the descending wedge. So a lot of these cross rates look pretty bullish at this point. The dollar Canadian's trading pretty weak. I'm not really too sure why it's trading as weak as it is, other than stocks are holding up. So the dollar Canadian has slumped. Dollar Mexican peso is trading heavy as well. It's not able to make it back above 1970. Those are a couple pairs that got to keep an eye on, especially for as stocks continue to press higher. I think they're ones to watch that could continue to bleed lower. If you take a look at the yen pairs, you got the euro yen, which rejected the underside of this broken trend line today. That was pretty important. The Aussie yen, it was rolled over a little bit. And if stocks do sell off, like the Aussie yen, the Euro yen, New Zealand yen may make some moves lower. Let's take a look at this Kiwi yen really quick. So we are below the breakout point, and notice how important that was as this line right here, right? Broke this uptrend line. Rally is kind of stalled. So I think while we're below 79.50, the risk is lower in the Kiwi yen. And again, I'm more right now focusing on these non-dollar pairs, some of the cross rates. They tend to be, working well for commodity currency weakness against other different currencies while we're waiting on the dollar to actually make a bit of a move. What else is going on? I guess I should point this out. So you got Ethereum hitting new highs, new all-time highs. Okay. We broke out of that consolidation. Bitcoin is still in its consolidation. So you could argue that, Ethereum is playing catch up to Bitcoin, but at the same time, if Ethereum, for some reason, and I'm just going to point this out, if we reject this previous all-time high and we can't build on that momentum and Ethereum starts to come off, then the risk is Bitcoin starts to come off too, because I have to imagine a lot of people bought Bitcoin thinking that Ethereum's breaking higher, or, some of these, altcoins are breaking higher. So Bitcoin's going to have to follow, and it's not. Gold and silver are pretty weak. Copper has reversed to its lows of the session. Let me find copper really quick. There we go. So copper's down at its lows of the session. Nothing really to be too worried about here, but let's watch copper in case we break this lower trend line. So maybe around 351, so 350. We start to break that, then we might see further weakness in the Aussie and the Kiwi. Okay, something that I want to pay attention to. I don't necessarily want to, just start shorting Aussie dollars because copper's at its lows. I think we need to see an actual reversal of this uptrend here in order to be more bearish, the Aussie. Jason says, laugh out loud, it's brutal. What are your thoughts on the potential head and shoulders on the CAD yen? I wasn't looking at the CAD yen, but CAD yen, head and shoulder pattern. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Oh, I'm looking at the Swiss yen. Sorry, hold on. CAD yen. Oh, all right. Maybe a head and shoulder pattern here. Possibly. We've seen it before. There we go. Right? Possible. I guess you'd have to watch this neckline here, which would coincide with the uptrend line. So, yeah, I mean, it's maybe. Me, I'd rather play a break of support. But the one thing I have to admit is the dollar Canadian is a lot weaker than I thought it'd be today. When you see the Kiwi kind of failing, the Aussie failing, and the dollar Canadian is actually holding up pretty well. The Canadian currency is holding up well. That means the dollar Canadian's weak, and you can see the Canadians having a hard time sliding here. So, I would probably just focus a little bit more on if this uptrend line is broken before getting too aggressive with the Canadian yen as a short. But other than that, guys, it's just this. I'm literally sitting in front of my computer and my eyes are watering. I'm struggling to stay awake listening to Janet Yellen. But I'm going to go back and finish up her her commentary. I haven't, you know, maybe the market will move after she's done, but I'm not counting on it. I'm hoping. I'm not counting on it. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great session today, and I hope some of you are trading long, you know, euro and pound against the Aussie and Kiwis. Hope you're trading some of those. So I'll talk to you soon, and thank you very much for your support as always. And let's pray for some bigger volatility. All right, guys, have a great one.